Welcome everyone to April 24, 2024's session of Spiritual Questions Answered. And today, the topic is activities during eclipses and other celestial alignments. So, if you have any questions later, feel free to type it in the chat box and I will address them later, or maybe after I present what I have to present. If you wish to speak, you can do so. Bear in mind that anyone who speaks will be recorded and the recording will be posted up to YouTube. Okay, so the first thing I think, just to share with everyone, just last month I did a talk on how celestial bodies, such as, so celestial bodies are the sun, the moon, and the planets, right? How celestial bodies and their alignments affect us. So most of the theory and explaining how the celestial bodies can affect us was already explained last month. If you missed it, you can watch the YouTube. All right, the recording is in YouTube. It's under our YouTube channel, right? YouTube.com, right? /@CordyKet, and you will find a Spiritual Questions Answered podcast or playlist. It will be the latest video there. So for today, we will move on, and I think a lot of people are very, I would say quite a number of people have messaged me, right, about the upcoming eclipse, which is happening on 8th or 9th April, depending where you are on Earth. So, and a lot of people have been asking me, Kat, can I do this? Can I do that? So I thought, it'd be much easier. I just do a video and then, I'll do this talk and then I'll upload the video and then everyone can refer to it. So firstly, I think let's address the question of what exactly is an eclipse. So there can be two types of eclipses. The eclipse that we are about to witness, or North America, mostly North America, is going to witness, is a solar eclipse. So what's a solar eclipse? So the red circle is supposed to represent the sun, the blue circle is supposed to represent those of us here on Earth, right? E for Earth, and then we have the moon. Okay, the black dot is the moon. Something like that. Okay, so the moon revolves around the Earth, yeah, and our Earth will revolve around the sun, will orbit the sun. So as it orbits, so the moon, let's see whether I can just draw it slightly bigger just for everyone's benefit. Something like that. What I'm trying to depict is there's this side of the moon which is facing the sun, which is light. All right, I hope you can see a little bit of light there. Pen is not, the marker pen is not fine enough. So this configuration, all right, in general is what we know as the new moon is, right? As the moon revolves around the Earth, at this point here, right, roughly at this point, we can't really see the moon because the moon is dark. The dark side is facing us, right? And so if you take a look at Earth, right, so the side facing the sun is experiencing daytime, the side facing away from the sun is experiencing nighttime. So normally people see the moon during the night, right? So, but in this configuration, people at night cannot see the moon. It's known as a new moon or dark moon. Now, when it is perfectly aligned, what happens is the rays from the sun, right? The rays from the sun is going to come, all right? So this area here is going to be a shadow. It's going to be a shadow. All right, so it's going to be a shadow that passes through some place on Earth. So this is known as a solar eclipse. Right, in this configuration is a solar eclipse. This is what we're going to face. This is what we're going to experience on 8th or 9th April 2024. All right. So normally, if it's not so aligned, right, the shadow will not fall on Earth. So then it will be just a new moon. And these guys are orbiting right now. The other eclipse that will happen is this. So again, you have the sun. Now you have the Earth. And you have the moon. So the side facing the sun will have sunlight and it will be daytime. Yeah, so this is the moon. So again, the moon is supposed to orbit Earth, and Earth is supposed to orbit the sun. So on this configuration, normally people on the night side of Earth, at night they can see the moon. Alright, and this is when you see the biggest moon, and this is normally the full moon. Alright, in full moon configuration, this is a full moon configuration whereby Earth is between sun and the moon. Now, if the alignment is so accurate, so straight, so pinpoint, such that the shadow of Earth covers the moon, that means this side, the moon will be in the shadow, then people on this side cannot see the moon at night. Yeah? Then this will be a lunar eclipse. Alright, lunar eclipse means the moon is being blocked out. Solar eclipse means the sun is being blocked out. Alright, there's actually another term called occultation, but eclipse is the one, and when we refer to eclipse, there's only generally we are referring to either solar or lunar eclipse. Alright, with that, I hope everyone understands what is it. Now, from the previous talk I did, we covered what happens when there's celestial alignment. So celestial alignment, celestial bodies are basically celestial bodies are sun, moon, planets, stars. All right. Let's say these are the stars that are in the sky. Celestial means of the sky, of the heavens. Yeah. So celestial alignments, when they are all aligned. Now the one that we are particular concerned with is eclipse, and we have one upcoming on Monday, right, 8th or 9th April. Now, we learned from the previous talk that when you have eclipses or all these celestial alignments, there are two general effects. Yeah, one is too much energy. So the alignments will send energy to people on Earth. The second effect is negative energies or energies, especially negative energies, being released. So the effect on people during celestial alignments is two. Okay, the alignments will send the alignment of the planets will strongly send energies to the people on Earth, and end up people will have too much energy. Now the second effect is due to alignments. There's like a pull, gravity pull, tidal pull, which I explained, and it's the most greatest effect is it pull negative energies from people. Now, when these two things happen, right? These are the two effects, and these two things can cause people to typically be more emotional, all right, easily triggered. When people have too much energy, what happens is they cannot sleep well, all right, sleep is affected. So Edwin is asking a question, why energy is negative? So this has to do with what we were referring to the previous talk. So basically when it's pulling, so it has like a tidal pull, all right. So for most people, right, we have a lot of storage of negative energies. So negative energies are dense, all right, compared to good energies. Good energies, positive energies are light. It means light, so they feel light and they are finer. So negative energies, I explained in just a very quick recap from the last talk, right? It can be emotions, there are negative memories, there are negative, we store them inside our body, inside our energy centers and so on, chakras, right? And they will be in our body, and when this, because they tend to be more dense, the pulling effect on the negative energies are stronger. Good energies are finer and they don't get pulled out so much, so negative energies will be pulled and it will be released by the alignment. So can you imagine you're here and then it will be pulling all these things, all these negative energies will come out. The problem is, the good news is the negative energies are leaving us, okay, are leaving us. But the problem is most people will experience these negative energies, they are leaving them, all right, and so they end up being more emotional and easily triggered. And some people can actually have an idea. Now they may not know that these negative energies are being released from them, but they kind of get triggered and they have memories, like someone who owe them money, or something somebody did for a long time that made you angry or upset, and it just returns to you. So it's all these energies that's trying to leave us, but when we experience it, we kind of we relieve it, or it goes through our mind again, and we can get upset again. All right, and because these are sensitive issues that we've not made peace with, right, then we get triggered and emotional. So normally these two, emotional and easily triggered, this will normally cause arguments, disagreements, and of course it can lead to fights or even wars. Yeah. So this is typically what happens, and of course sleep is also affected. So sleep is affected because there's too much energy, and you will notice that usually during this type of periods, children tend to be more hyperactive. They refuse to go to bed early, or some of us adults will notice you don't know why you have too much energy, all right, and you can't go to sleep, and you end up watching TV, or you just toss around in bed, all right. These are the negative stuff, but sometimes, all right, the good stuff can be, people can become very driven and energetic. So, because when they get a lot of energy, they become very driven, energetic, and they pursue their hobbies or interests very fast. Okay, so this is just a quick background. Now, based on the understanding of this, all right, I hope to explain to you all what are the activities that we should do and we should avoid. So I think So what we should do and what we should avoid. So I think most people are interested in what are the things that we cannot do. So one of the one of the first question often asked question is, should we stay at home during eclipse? We need to stay at home. We need to hide from the eclipse. Yeah. So that's one of the advice that's given by people. Now, I don't think that is the right way to go about. I mean, some will say, yeah, it's up to you. So now the people who are asking me about this question, whether they should stay at home, most of them are from Malaysia. Okay, now just to let you all know, the eclipse is going to happen on 8th or 9th April, okay, 2024. It is now quite a big deal because this eclipse is passing through North America, it's passing through USA. All right, quite a number of states in USA, and USA being like the center of the world, you know, and a lot of websites are talking about, oh, we're getting out to view this eclipse. Now, practically eclipses happen 4 to 5 times a year. All right, but it depends which part of Earth gets the shadow of the solar eclipse. All right. Or lunar eclipse. So lunar eclipse because basically we can't see the moon and a greater part of Earth. Some part of Earth will see the moon. So actually the moon is moving like this, right? Moving like lunar eclipse, the moon is moving like this. So they'll see the moon, okay, can see a full moon, then suddenly the moon disappear in the shadow and then it gets out. So same thing, right? So people here on Earth, they see the sun, and then when the moon comes over, it's as if the moon is eating up the sun. So this is the eclipse. Now, now, so those people in USA, right? They will have the option of, you know, whether they want to go and view the eclipse or should they stay at home, right? So those people in Malaysia, they are asking me now. Bear in mind, Malaysia and USA are on opposite sides of the Earth. Okay, practically opposite. If you can get a globe, all right, it's exactly opposite. For example, those of you in New York, you guys are 12 hours, 12 hours behind our time, right? So you know one round around Earth is 24 hours. So if you are 12 hours away, it means you are on practically the other side of Earth. Okay, so if it's daytime during US, then it's nighttime during the Earth. Now, first thing I would like to remind everyone, so most of, quite a number of you, majority are from Malaysia, because I'm Malaysian, yeah. We are based in Malaysia. So what's going to happen is the effect of the eclipse, right? It doesn't just happen to people at the daytime. The energies is going to keep going and going and going all the way. It's going to pass through. And of course, there's, you know, it will be very concentrated on this shadow area, but even those outside the shadow area, the energies will be quite strong. All right, so it depends. Now, so for people in Malaysia, you're on this other side. Do you think hiding at home can get you away from the effects of the solar eclipse? You can't. All right, for people in Malaysia, Asia, right, during the solar eclipse, the energies of the solar eclipse is not coming from the sky, it's coming from the ground. If you understand this, yeah, if you understand this. Now, if you are in the US, then you see it's coming from the sky. And if you can hide at home, then you have some protection. Okay? Now, the truth is, if people in Malaysia cannot be really shielded much from the effects of the solar eclipse, do you think if you are in USA and you're in a building, right? So people in Malaysia, they get the entire Earth to try to block out the energies. You can't. Now you can add, you know, so let's just say if there are more planets in here, in between, right? All the planets are just going to add to the energies of the alignment. It doesn't subtract, right? It doesn't block out. The more they are aligned, the stronger the energy is, right? So, so whether we are on this side or this side, the energies are very strong and still going to affect. So that's one question. So people are asking, right? Should they avoid? Should they stay at home or whatever? Now, so my answer is you cannot really avoid, but what in terms of activities, sorry, in terms of activities, you will want to take note of these effects and see what you would like to plan. What are the activities planned for this day, all right, or during the hours at least. So some people will experience a lot of headaches. So, for example, all this sleep is affected. Some people don't get headaches. Yeah, sleep is affected, and because too much energy, all right, they can also get headaches. Okay, so what are some of the activities that I would avoid? First activity that I would avoid is something important like a surgery. All right, important, surgery. Why? Can everyone understand why would you want to avoid having a surgery on an eclipse day? Not just at the hour or, on the day itself or after the eclipse. Why wouldn't you want to have a surgery, especially a very important surgery on that day? Consider these effects, yeah? So there will be too much energy and negative energies are being released, and this is happening to your surgeon. Your surgeon could be having trouble sleeping. How many of you have problems sleeping? Right? Yes, and Xiaofang said doctors can be more emotional than usual. Correct. Maybe the doctor, the surgeon does not have enough sleep, all right, or because of issues are being triggered, because when people are more emotional and easily triggered, there tend to be more arguments and disagreements. If a doctor have a fight with the spouse on that day, they will be emotional, but they still go to work. And if you're the one on the operating table, they may not be at their best and they didn't have a good night's sleep. So that's when mistakes can be made. Yeah. So you wouldn't want to arrange surgery then. Now, what are other kinds of activities you wouldn't want to arrange on such a time? For example, important discussions. Or sensitive discussions. Can you imagine? All right. Like right now in Israel and in Palestine, right? In Palestine, there's a war going on, or Ukraine-Russia war is going on right now, and they want to have peace talks. Do you think it's a good idea to have it on a solar eclipse day or the day after solar eclipse? No, right? So basically, things that involve important discussions, sensitive discussions, especially sensitive ones, yeah, sensitive ones. Don't have it on this day or the day after, because people will be more emotional and more easily triggered, and maybe they didn't have enough sleep. They will not be in a good mood, and things are not going to end well, not likely to end well for the discussion. Yeah. Any other occasions that you all can think of that you all would like to do? Do you think you would like to avoid? Basically, these are the kind of things. So anything that is important, I would say anything, right? Anything whereby it's important, you need the person to be, right? If you need the person to be in tip-top condition, mentally, emotionally, have enough sleep, don't arrange an important appointment on a solar eclipse day, or the day after, or the day before. You know, people who tend to be emotional, easily triggered. So new moon is still not too bad, it's still bearable, but on a solar eclipse, and especially if you are exactly on the path of the eclipse, then the energies can be very, very strong. Cora is asking, can I vaccinate my dog? I think vaccination vaccination is quite okay. It's quite easy, yeah. So there shouldn't be much mistakes made unless you're talking about, you know, they use the wrong vaccine. But if it's like really important surgery, a transplant, or even going to the dentist for wisdom tooth extraction. Now, going to normal dentist for normal procedure may be okay because those are not high risk. But if you're going for wisdom tooth extraction, wisdom tooth, if you don't know, right, wisdom tooth, especially the one on the lower jaw, there's the highest risk whereby there can be nerve damage, and nerve damage can be for life. It's not funny. Yeah, I've got a good friend, right? Actually, one of my exes, she had a wisdom tooth extraction that went wrong, and half her tongue lost the sense of taste, and you know there was partial paralysis on the face for some time. Okay, so good. Elaine is saying driving and road rage. Yes, so on this period, they will be very likely to be driving. If you're going for long distance travel, it may not be a very good idea. Okay, if you need to stay up, stay alert on the road, right? There will be a lot more road rage, and usually, like in the US, I've been reading a lot of news. They said so the last solar eclipse that was visible across the USA was in 2017, about 7 years ago, and across the path whereby the eclipse shadow, you know, crossed the earth, there were huge traffic jams because a lot of people were they you know they can you can actually go in Google, you know, to see where does the path of eclipse cross, and people actually go there and park their cars to watch the eclipse. And after the eclipse ends, the eclipse will last maybe just to see the eclipse. It's just a few minutes, right? And after that, there are thousands of cars, and it's a massive traffic jam for half a day. And the energies, not just the energies, because of the traffic jam of half a day, a few hours of the roads is enough to make people go nuts. Okay, so in general, once you understand this, you understand what to avoid. So basically, anything that is like all this, and don't take a day like this to go and talk to your boyfriend or girlfriend or your spouse about sensitive issues with the relationship, with the family, for example. Yeah, so I do pay attention to all these celestial alignments. It's not just eclipses. There are other celestial alignments. Those of you who are in my groups, you are, I try to keep posted. But even today is quite a strong alignment day, and it'll be strong all the way to the eclipse. Yeah. So basically, what we would also like to talk about is the activities that we should do. So we understand the effects of this and what are the activities that we should do. So maybe I'm going to repeat myself again. So I always say, during such periods, I always recommend meditation. Number one. So during meditation, if you do it right, especially those of you who practice our light meditation or our non-attachment meditation, we facilitate the release of negative energy and negativity from our body, from our energies, or our energy system, right? So because it's already happening due to the eclipse and the celestial alignments, if we spend some time during meditation and we allow this to happen and we keep on releasing our negative energies and negativity, right, by shining light during light meditation, or by letting go and be learning to be non-attached, right, it will help us facilitate this process. And these eclipses, right, these eclipses and celestial alignments can actually help heal us. Ultimately, this is a good thing when negative energies are being released. Then this is one of the best things to do. Okay, so Qigong is another one. So Qigong actually will strengthen our energy, right? And I would like, of course, to share that our own Unity Qigong also helps us to release negative energies. And because Qigong is also associated with the third thing that we would like to advise everyone to do, grounding. Right? Because Qigong helps with grounding, that means connection to earth. So when you do more Qigong and grounding connection to earth, it helps us to release the excess energies that we have in the body, and it helps to harmonize us. All right, so these are activities that can harmonize us, that can help us release negative energies, especially meditation energy done right. All right, grounding will help us connect with earth. And I would advise for a lot of people, if you can, right, a lot of nature time, spend more time in nature. The other thing that you would like to consider doing is, now if you know that you're going to be easily triggered and more emotional than usual, you may want to take time off for yourself, right? Take time off for yourself, have less, have maybe that's good because you have less interactions with people, then there will be less arguments and disagreements. It can be a good thing during solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. So these eclipses are really high-powered versions of the new moon and full moon. Okay. So with that, this is what I have to share. The usual sharing is maybe just half an hour. And if you all have any questions, please feel free to ask. Let me go through some of the messages. So Coral say, meditate. Wow, yeah, I'm doing all these 3 things on Monday. Took time off work, going to the park to meditate. Yes, so that will be perfect for the eclipse. So any one of you have any other activities that you guys have planned or would like to do and like to check with me whether it's a good thing to do or not during the eclipse? Any questions? It's quite simple, right? I think basically it's just to understand this. But I get asked quite a lot of questions, basically like, you know, surgeries, dentists, going to meet friends for some or boss or work, some important discussion, or should they stay at home? So basically, first thing we want to understand is stay at home. It doesn't really reduce the effects, all right? Not by much. Okay, what you need to understand is the effects, and because of these effects, you need to avoid important things like doing surgery, which may require a person to be in tip-top condition, right? Anything, right, that requires a person to be mentally, emotionally stable, have a lot of sleep, important discussions such as this, and you just postpone those. So Coral is saying, I live across the cemetery. There is an event there for the eclipse. Is it safe for people to be at the cemetery? Ah, that is a and in brackets, this cemetery is also kind of a park. Now, there is one aspect of the eclipse which is not often talked about. Now, eclipse is actually a very high-powered energy event. So those of you who are in our group, you will notice that we are conducting our most powerful meditation, light on earth meditation. So basically what we do is, normally we choose dates of celestial alignments whereby the energies are very high, and we conduct this light on earth meditation, and we harness the energies of these lights on earth meditation for healing and cleansing. So for those who are very skilled in using energy, you can even use these energies, all right, to do good, and that is what we do. All right, we do this lights on earth meditation. We help people connect to the source of light, and to cleanse people, to heal people, their home, their family members, their loved ones, and spread. We try to bring light on earth, spread light on earth. So this is our most powerful meditation that we conduct 4 times a year. All right, we've already done once this year on February 28th. This coming one is on April 8th, and the next one will be on May 8th, right? So it's during high celestial alignments, high celestial alignment, high energy periods, we will do it. So we can also harness the energies of these eclipses and celestial alignments. Now, on the other side, all right, the people who do dark and black magic, right? Black and dark magic. It is also a time, right? It is also a time for these people who use dark and black magic to connect to the eclipse. All right, because especially for solar eclipse, it brings darkness. So there will be a lot of dark practitioners that will be connecting to this. So this is something more serious, which I'm leaving more towards the end. Okay, so they are actually, I was just reading, some people were sharing, all right, some people were sharing about news reports from old days, talking about people who go crazy during eclipses. All right. So this is something that is quite well known in the ancient times. All right. In the ancient times, it's quite well known. All right. They call people who go crazy due to the eclipse. Usually, eclipse, full moons, new moons. Right. So eclipse, full moons, new moons is due to celestial alignments that are like this. All right. So they call it lunacy. Right. You have heard the term lunacy, lunatic. Right. So the root word is luna. Luna means the moon. Is everyone aware? Luna means the moon. So it is well known since ancient times. So they call people who go crazy, right, due to the moon, they call them lunatics. And the condition is lunacy. All right, and lunatics, the old way of using this term are people who get affected by all these solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. So because the energies are very strong, it will be too much for them to handle. And sometimes, because these people are usually energy sensitive, if they connect to the moon or to the eclipse during this period, and if they are unfortunate to connect with the black magic, dark magic that is being done during this period, the effects are worse. So this is related to Coral's question, yeah. So during cemetery, I don't know whether there will be some dark practitioner going to the cemetery. I heard from my clients, right? For clients who've gone to dark practitioners, and after that they come to me to get cleansed, and they talk about how the dark practitioners brought them to the cemetery, right? Brought them to the cemetery to try and get ghosts and everything, ghosts and demons to try to do black and dark magic. So cemeteries may be a ground for this, but otherwise, yeah. So for us, we are light workers, so we will harness these energies. These energies are not, say, light or dark, it's celestial, it's caused by the planets, celestial bodies, sun and moon. All right, it can be used for good, but of course, a lot of people, they will associate the disappearance of the sun become dark, right, as dark, and so quite a lot of dark practitioners, they may be doing this. So if you're energy sensitive and you're in US and you're looking at the, you're wherever you are, right? If you see a solar eclipse, if you look at the solar eclipse, you're energy sensitive, you may not feel too good, and you may feel very bad if you happen to connect with black magic or dark energies that are being done, right, using the moment. So you got to be careful with that. So Xiaofang is asking, if giving birth to kids on solar eclipse day as the date can't be chosen freely, what can we do to be safer? All right, for those people who are giving birth, now, if you're giving birth to just those of you who Xiaofang is she's been learning from us, so you can do our energy practices, UQ, light meditation, non-attachment meditation, to make sure when during birthing, your own energies are as positive as possible, and you'll be protected, and you'll be releasing a lot of negative energies as possible. And babies born during this period, usually, because if babies are born during solar eclipse, they can have very high energies themselves. All right, and it depends on the mother's energy, what is passed down to the baby. if the mother's energy is very good and the baby gets this strong energies, yeah, it can be very good for the baby as long as the baby's physical body can take it. Okay, so Coral said, to be clear, the event is to give out glasses to see the eclipse at the cemetery. It's the highest point in Brooklyn, no black magic. Ah, oh, I see. There are definitely dark practitioners in my neighborhood. Okay, I'll go to the other part. All right. So yeah. So Coral, I hope you understand this. This dark magic thing. Yeah, because we are involved in all this light work, and we know the dark side. They like to use solar eclipses. Yeah, especially all these eclipses because it's associated with dark. But for us who are light, we can. It's just alignment energy, celestial body energy, and we use it. And he's asking, will the child born be able to survive during dark eclipse? Yeah, yeah. They are of course babies. They are born and they are okay, right? So those babies they are born and they are okay. It's actually all fine. And sometimes when the chart is so strong, having an eclipse on the chart, it's not an easy chart because the charts will be very strong. Yeah, and it depends on the person whether they can handle, and the person can either be very good or not too good. Okay, so Cassandra is asking, I didn't fully understand about being careful not to connect to the moon to avoid black magic. The moon energy is very strong, so do I need to protect my energy from the moon intentionally? Okay, Cassandra, you don't really need to protect from the moon intentionally. It depends on how sensitive you are. If you're one of those that are affected by new moons and full moons, you'll find that then the eclipses are much harder to handle. Then you may need to do more of what we prescribe, right? Meditation, qigong, grounding, more on nature. And since you're already learning you have learned our practices, the more you do on the day, it will help you a lot. If not, since you're in our groups, you can join our Light on Earth meditation. So this time we are conducting our Light on Earth meditation just a few hours before the peak, right? We'll be conducting our Light on Earth meditation a few hours before the peak of the solar eclipse. So it will help to stabilize people, right? Those of you who are too sensitive, and then solar eclipse shouldn't be too much for you. But if you're too energy sensitive, right, and if you happen to live on the daytime side, and if you can see the solar eclipse, then you shouldn't look at the solar eclipse, right? Because it may be too much for you. And some people, because they're looking, so when they're looking at the moon, so usually the dark practitioners, they like to focus on the moon, yeah? They draw on the energies of the dark moon. So this is actually new moon. So new moon, dark moon, there's a lot of black dark practitioners that harness. So their energies may connect to the moon. And for some people very energy sensitive, if they can see the solar eclipse, right? So if during daytime, maybe you are in USA, if you're energy sensitive and you can see the moon, you're energy sensitive. And during this period, a lot of people doing black and dark magic, and you're looking at the moon and you connect because we are looking so intensely, right? So intensely at the sun and the moon, at the eclipse, and suddenly you connect with the moon and the dark energies that are associated with the rituals that I don't know how many people are going to be doing it at the time, right? And then you may feel very sick, all right? You may be very badly affected, that kind of thing. So you need to take care, all right? So these are usually for the very energy sensitive people. They will know, right? A lot of energy sensitive people, they report that they really feel very lousy, all right, during the eclipse, and even worse when they look at the eclipse. And usually this is a factor, and not many people are aware of this. Everything, wedding during eclipse still okay? Wedding during eclipse generally is okay because it's a happy occasion. But if the wedding, there are some people they are not sure whether they want to wed or don't want to wed, but they still, they still go ahead with the planning, right? And they found out that hey, this is I mean, if it's kind of too late, if your wedding is on 8th or 9th April to suddenly cancel it. But now, bearing in mind, these are the effects of the eclipse, right? People will get too much energy and negative energy being released, and they are emotionally easily triggered. If the couple, one of them are going into the marriage with a lot of second thoughts and they just agreed, just say yes, just because the other party proposed, or just because they have been together for a long time, during the eclipse may trigger them to just run away from the marriages. All right, things like that has happened before. So, but if the relationship is strong, it shouldn't be a problem, right? If the relationship is very strong, actually the energies of the solar eclipse can bless the marriage. But it's a two-edged sword, all right? It's a double-edged sword. You must understand this. So if the relationship is not too great, don't have it around that period or after that period, or at the time of the solar eclipse. Highly not recommended. If your relationship okay, fine, yeah, because nothing is going to stop you guys from getting married, and the high energies will just make people celebrate more. Kalau say is it's now not recommended to connect to the moon. It's not recommended to connect to the moon, Cat, because of black magic. But is it possible to still receive positive energy from the moon without being affected by negative energies of others? Yes. So in general, like I was saying, right, the energies will be going to Earth, right? Like here, both sides will be going to Earth, and and the energies will have this type of effects, which is helping us release negative energies, which is good, right? And they're also giving us some energies, and most of the energies, they're actually quite okay. They're quite okay. The only times when things go wrong, and it doesn't happen always, and that's why I refer to this term lunacy and lunatic, right? Whereby the root word is luna and refers to the moon. Some people who are very energy sensitive, if by some stroke of luck they happen to connect to the part or the moon's energies, especially when they connect to the moon, all right, they notice, they look up to the moon or something, and they happen to connect, and the worst part is when they connect to black or dark magic energies. So maybe a dark practitioner. So imagine, so let's say here, all right, it could be, so it need not necessarily be during the daytime. It can be someone in Malaysia, Indonesia, right, Thailand. We are here in the dark, right? Everyone knows about the eclipse. They can be connected to the eclipse at the time. Everybody knows the time, all right, and they can connect to the moon. And let's say they connect. So people from this side of Earth, they are connecting to this part of the moon, just this part, and they are bringing the energies all the way to this side. But someone who's here on the daytime side happen, let's just say hypothetically, happen to look at this same spot, right, whereby they are connected and drawing the dark and black magic energies there, then you may connect to the dark or black magic energies and then get affected by these dark and black magic energies, and it will be worse than usual. All right, it's a slim chance, but it can happen. All right, and that's why there are people who are lunatics, and I've known people that are very affected by new moons and full moons. Yes, the worst thing is when they get affected by this. All right, then the clearing of this is much harder than the normal effects of new moon and full moon. If you suddenly absorb this, then it's a little bit, then you need to treat it as if the person has been affected by black magic, which is, maybe for normal people is a lot more nasty, right? A lot more nasty. Okay, so any other questions? I've pretty much covered most of the activities. So it's not so much we run through all the activities, but help you all understand so that you can make a decision whether it applies to the activities that you're considering. Yeah. And if you think you have other activities you would like to ask me, you can just type here. If not, you can switch on your mic and speak. Otherwise, we are done. Xiaofang is asking, is eclipse has bigger effects than regular celestial alignments? Yes. So eclipses, because they involve the sun and the moon, and amongst the celestial bodies, sun, moon, planets, and the stars, the sun and the moon are the strongest. All right, and eclipse is a celestial alignment, and celestial alignment of the highest order is exactly one straight line. That's why you have shadows. All right, so eclipses are considered the strongest celestial alignment that we can experience in general, unless unless so happen that there is a eclipse, right? And there is also some other planet also on this side. Then only it can be stronger. Otherwise, standard, this is the strongest, right? And general eclipses happen, I think on average 4 times a year, right? So on average, you have sometimes it's not full eclipse. This time it's a total eclipse. Sometimes it's just partial. It's just a little bit of shadow. It's not exactly 100% alignment. So sometimes it can just be 50% and it's not so strong. But 100% like on 8th or 9th April, right? That's very strong. When they call it total eclipse, annular eclipse, right? Those are consider 100% alignment. Those are very strong. So Evan is asking, swimming at night even in pool okay during near eclipse? Yeah, swimming is okay. So you can dispense, the idea is you can swim, grounding nature, you let go of your excess energies is also fine, right? So you can also do, as long as you can be more quiet by yourself, you don't have any reason to get into arguments and disagreements with people, those kind of activities is good. You can do reading, more reading. Okay, Coral said, is there any way to protect oneself from black magic to receive energy safely? All right, so in general, if you want to receive the energy, so we don't encourage people to directly connect unless your light is strong. But if you want to try, so you make sure you've done our practices: unity qigong, light meditation, and non-attachment meditation. You are of that state. So the unity qigong and light meditation to strengthen your light, and your non-attachment meditation will make sure negative energies don't stick onto you, don't affect you so easily. All right, if that's what you would like to try, those are our practices. In general, we try to tell people if you are an energy sensitive, try not to connect with an eclipse directly. Okay? Unless, just join our Light on Earth meditation, let us do it for you, all right? Okay. Any more questions? All right, if there are no more questions, then thank you for joining me. Remember, we have our Light on Earth meditation on 8th April. So those of you, if you're not sure, just go to our Facebook. All right, our Facebook, just search CordyKet, our Facebook page, look under events. Under events, there'll be Light on Earth meditation. All right, and all the dates and times according to your time zone will be there. All right, join us. The upcoming one is on April 8th. 11:30 p.m. Malaysian time. Okay, so it will be different time. It will be 11:30 p.m. will be 11:30 a.m. New York time, for example. Okay, so do join us for Light on Earth meditation. Or tomorrow we'll be conducting Unity Qigong. If you are interested in learning more of our practices that can help you, tomorrow same time 9 p.m. Malaysian time, right? I'll be teaching Unity Qigong. And if not, Monday night will be Light on Earth meditation. All right, so thank you for having me. And if you feel you've benefited from this talk, do help us by making a donation. All right, how to make a donation or contribution for our online events is in the groups. In Facebook groups under the featured section. All right, in the rest of the groups, I'll send the details on how to make a donation to support us. All right, thank you for having me. Have a good day, good night, and goodbye.